Hey, what's up guys? SanSC here. Just bringing you a quickie update. It is the end of the season, only 7 days left until Mio and I go on our adventure, heading to Vancouver and then down into the US, Mexico, and beyond. Really super excited. Everything's winding down here. I've just finished a full day of feeding bees at my beekeeping job. You can see I'm pretty dirty. A video is coming out on that very soon. That'll be available on the second channel. We're also going to be giving you guys plenty of updates on Patreon. Thank you guys so much for supporting. It's time for KCM, guys. Let's get it started. Alright guys, I want to jump right into this first game. So excited for this. It's been a long time. We're starting off with Neo Arkanoid. And we've got Royal versus Bisu to start things off for us. Looks like Royal going to be spawning here in the top left-hand corner. Bisu in the top right. There is your lineup. Royal Light Sharp, Bisu Best Mini, Queen, Soma, and Jaedong. Know you guys are excited about that. Jaedong once again in the Zerg lineup. Hopefully he's going to pull out some sweet moves. Pull out some good games for us here. But first, of course, Royal versus Bisu on Neo Arachnoid. This is or Neo Arkanoid. Why do I think Arachnoid? Like spider-like? I feel like that makes more sense than Arkanoid. I don't know what an Arkanoid is, but I'm sure it has some sort of meaning. I'm a little bit too lazy to Google it right now, and too excited to finally get this week going. It's been a little while coming here. Didn't have a KCM last week. I guess we're only going to get 2 weeks of KCM this month, unfortunately. Not that I'm complaining. I'm just observing. I think I'm going to be doing some more other content here soon, too, because putting out 2 videos a month, I mean, it's not quite enough Starcraft for myself or the viewers, I think. I need to find some other content, so be looking for some replays. Possibly doing some more streaming. I did a stream last night. It was a lot of fun. But enough about that. We've got an expansion. Looks like Bisu gonna come down here and throw down a Nexus. Nexus to the side here. Is he? Oh man, I have not seen this before. Nexus off center. Of course, it makes sense for Royal here. Royal gonna put that command center off center, but you could just lift that off and float a little bit closer once the Chrysalids have been destroyed. But Nexus is next side they don't move, man. That thing is stuck there for the rest of the game, unfortunately. But Beasts are just gonna take the less efficient minerals gathering, I guess. I wonder what that actually adds up to. I wonder if he's done the math on this, if it's better to get the Nexus first off center rather than just get a Zealot early here and just kill those and then build the Nexus. I feel like maybe the extra probe production makes a big difference. I'm not sure though. I wonder, oh man, I wonder if actually building the Nexus to the left of those might be possibly better. You are going to have some longer distance mining, of course, but maybe it evens out a little bit because you're going to want that gas as well, right? Is it actually closer to the top mineral patches than guys, I'm doing calculus in my head right now that I'm not capable of. I'm not capable of making these calculations here. We have to open up a spreadsheet and a custom game in order to figure this one out. This is a real puzzle. But maybe Bisu's done the math on this. I'm just going to go ahead and trust him. Say that building the Nexus to the south is better than to the west. the left of those mineral patches and those crystalli. He's going to get to work on taking those down now. Not that it really makes a difference, because you're not going to throw down a third nexus there, are you? Surely not. Surely Bisu won't throw down another nexus right beside that one, will he? Just to make the mining better? I wonder how long it would take to make those monies back. That 400 minerals with more efficient mining time. Would it take a long time? I feel like it would take an awfully long time to earn that back. Like minutes in game time to of more efficient mining time to actually make that worth it. So he's not going to do that, I think. Meanwhile, double starport. Whoa, Royal going to starport here on the left-hand side. Oh my goodness. Well, this is a shock as well. I guess Neo Arkanoid is sort of an island map, so he can get away with this. He's not going to be getting rushed here by Bisu. There's not many good avenues to be able to rush here as the Protoss player. I think the only real one he could possibly consider would be going for an early shuttle Reaver, and then having some Wraiths out here will definitely counter that. Reaver not being able to shoot up and the shuttle eventually being chased down by those Wraiths. So I guess this does make sense. We have seen some players break through the temples surprisingly fast with Marines or Marines or Zerglings. You can get through those in reasonably good time, but neither player really going for that this game. Both just macroing up super heavily here. An observer getting picked off in the middle of the map. Nicely done. Royal denying that vision. Not allowing Bisu to get a good read on what's going on in the Terran base right now. He has no idea that he's going for Cloak. He has no idea that there's 2-port Wraith being built right now. So there might be an opportunity here for Royal to get some damage once he has 3 to 4 Wraiths. He can just fly in with those Cloaked and start to pick off probes. And he is going to do that right now. 3 Wraiths here, 2-shotting these probes. He's going to get 2, maybe even 3 or 4 probes before this observer can make its way down to this natural. And it is arriving now. He goes for the scan. He does get it immediately. Only a couple of Dragoon shots getting off, and this damage is starting to really pile up. 5 kills. 2 of those might have been some observers, but man, there's been a lot of kills here. And plenty of harm done to Bisu's economy. Royal really making this 2-port Wraith play work, and I gotta stress, guys, this is not the way we regularly see Terrans play against Protoss. It's so weak against just pure Dragoon. He actually kills a Dragoon. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. Picking off a Dragoon here is ridiculous. He goes after the observer as well. Oh, the scan runs out. Oh, man, that was so close. One more shot would have finished that off. A Corsair popping out. Where's Corsairs? Corsairs in Protoss versus Terran. I saw this on a Tasteless stream. He had this as a sub goal, I remember. At one point, that he would build Corsairs versus Terran as kind of like an obvious joke, but we are seeing Corsairs being built up here as Bisu. He's even going into a fleet beacon. That's totally makes sense to build those. To build that fleet beacon. Now that he's gone ahead and invested into these Corsairs, might as well get some carriers here to follow this up. Just gonna fly away, and oh my goodness, it does so much damage. 2-shotting these Corsairs. He's gonna kill 3 Corsairs very quickly, but the Corsairs deal so much damage. I think 2 or 3 Wraiths went down so quickly there. even with the two-shotting, those Corsairs nearly won that battle. So you can see how brittle of a unit the Wraith is. Just it goes down so incredibly fast. Yeah, still not building another Nexus down there, so I guess not worth it. Bisu gonna have to deal with this push here pretty soon. He is building some carriers, I believe. He's gonna lose yet another observer though. Nicely picked off. And those Wraiths are gonna be continue to be a threat until Bisu has kind of a critical mass of observers. He needs like 4 or 5 maybe with his carriers. That's the point where it really becomes unfeasible to fly in with the cloaked Wraiths and just try to pick off all the observers and then go after the carriers. It really can't happen once you've got that many observers. He gets another one though, again lowering that count, taking us farther and further away from that critical mass, and there's no carriers out at the moment. He's gonna set up tanks here right at the edge of this base. Bisu holding back quite far. He needs to engage this with the Reaver Zone, get some good shots, because he has to buy time for these carriers to produce their interceptors here. Otherwise, he's just going to get run over. Royal about to break through, and he's already setting up turrets on his side of the wall as well. A dedicated push here for Royal, rallying everything to this position. He's going to push through this very tight location. Zealots cannot fight in this spot here. It's so tight. There's no way to get decent surface area on these tanks at this moment. Now that they're going to start to extend through, maybe he can take this engage now. Going to try and pick off a couple of tanks here, buy himself some time. The Wraiths are cloaked and dealing some damage. Oh my god, every single Wraith gets away with about 1 HP. Yeah, 3 Wraiths there get away with maybe 10 HP between the 3 of them. Ridiculous, excuse me. Goliaths coming out now, gonna fight with these carriers. Their interceptors being shot down from the sky. Zealots pouring forward here as Bisu tries to push these units back. He gets a really nice shot there with the Reaver, but good targeting from Royal, dealing more damage to that Reaver and almost picking it off. Now the Zealots are starting to run out. Dragoons are low in number as well. Great targeting by Royal to just right-click down with the tanks on those Dragoons, but the number of Goliaths here has diminished to the point now where these carriers can do real damage. We've got 5 carriers here, all of them with that +1. They can start to really pick off a 6th one coming up as well. He can just go after these tanks. He doesn't even have to worry really about the Goliaths right now. Just focus on the tanks, try to pick them off, and the rallying Zealots, oh my god, the Reaver getting so much damage as well. The rallying Zealots, Dragoons, and Reavers should be able to clear up the Goliaths here, and I think that Royal has almost held, though this is still a 3-base Terran. Holding this push does not mean an instant win, and there's another base down in the bottom left-hand corner, a sneak base here from Royal, who's pushing right into this 3rd of Bisu now with those additional Goliaths coming up. It looks like he might just break him here, though there is a great location to gun down these tanks from the high ground here on the right-hand side. He can just go after these. He's picking off the SCVs, actually, where I really feel like he should be going after the tanks. Now, getting behind the army here is going to get a couple of turrets, but these follow-up Goliaths, this rally of Goliaths, way too strong. Just going to push everything back. Bisu being shoved back into his main base, and another Reaver pops out, plus 2 more carriers. This carrier number is getting crazy strong. Royal needs to end things pretty quickly here. Otherwise, this carrier number is going to be insanely big and bulky. Look at how many carriers there are. Oh my god, the number of interceptors is getting insane. The Zealots running forward here, just dealing a ton of splash damage to these Goliaths. And now with the Goliath numbers being this low, I think that Bisu can just target down the tanks and then clean up the remainder of the army. He is getting focused by these Goliaths, but backing up perfectly, not taking too much damage. The last 3 Goliaths are going to go down, and Bisu has held. He's pushing everything back, though he's sitting here on only 2 base mining, and his economy in shambles. Will have to try and get some counter damage right here, right now. Let's see if he can get it done. Royal spamming out turrets. He knows all he has to do is hold on. His economy is so much better. He should be able to win with rallies as long as he can deal with these carriers, but the turret spam not going to be enough. He has to lift and run away with this command center. Bisu looking so scary with the carrier army bearing down on the base of Royal. He can switch back and forth between defense and attack so easily here too, just jumping over these impassable terrain locations, these little islands here where Goliath cannot move through. It's so hard to deal with these carriers right now, just floating over and destroying everything. There's nothing that Royal can do to actually pick these off directly. He's gonna try and run forward and deal a little damage, but Bisu just backs up a tiny bit here and gets more and more and more value out of these units, out of these carriers, kind of clawing his way back into this game. He does set up his next base there, his 3rd base, reset up at the 12 o'clock. He's going to engage here with the Goliaths, his Dragoons leading the way right now, dealing a ton of damage to the Goliaths as they fight. Tanks there from the south. Oh, a Reaver! Coming down to the bottom left-hand corner. This could be the game changer here. Bisu stopping that mining down in the bottom left. A huge move from him, and suddenly Royal, with hardly any mining, he doesn't have his 3rd base. This 4th sneak base has been shut down. We're about to mine out here at the natural expansion. Uh-oh, observers, how many are there? 4. He's got 4 observers. 3 have already gone down. That 4th one being chased here, but it has the speed. Speed being researched by Bisu. So clutch right there to have that speed ready to go. The observer lives, and the Wraith attack is stopped. I think that was really the last move from Royal to try and take care of this carrier army, was just to pick off those observers and then go to work with the Wraiths, maybe pick off 4 or 5 carriers. He might have had a better chance, but as things stand, Bisu, with such a carrier army, there's just no stopping him at this point. He can continuously get insane value out of these units. His drop in the bottom left is dealing so much damage, preventing any additional mining. Royal has mined out of almost every location. Now, I see him trying to mine something at the center left there, but I believe Bisu just found that. Yeah, he's dropped his Reaver. He's going to pick off these SCVs, and that's gotta be it, man. Bisu ahead, 30 supply. Actually, more than that, about 40 supply of an advantage. Most of that in carriers, which is exactly the kind of supply you want to have as a Protoss player here against Terran. There's so much value in that supply. And GG, Royal taps out. Bisu wins the first game of this series. Nicely done. Quite a hold there. A really well-timed, well-executed push from Royal, but just not quite quick enough. Not able to get on top of those Stargates and stop him from producing. It is crazy how strong carriers are, guys. Just crazy that a Terran player with 3 bases there, he actually had 4 bases running, picks off the 3rd base of Protoss, and he makes a comeback from just 2 bases, smashes through everything, and wins that game. Unreal. That really comes down to the control, though, from Bisu, able to eke out every little bit of advantage, every little bit of efficiency with those carrier movements on that map. They're so strong. Anyway, guys, we're going to go into our next game. Bisu takes out Royal. He moves on. Let's see who he's up against next. All right, Queen takes the stage. Oops. I actually need to cross off poor Royal's name. Unfortunately, has been eliminated. Showed us some pretty cool stuff there. Nice two port Wraith play. How many probes were killed in that last game, actually? Now that I'm thinking about it, that is a crazy comeback from Bisu. He must have lost like 10 probes, maybe? And about 5 or 6 observers. Plus, I mean, those Wraiths actually killed a Dragoon as well. And somehow, Bisu managed to get those carriers out in time to stop that push. And, I mean, not in time to save his third base, but in time to prevent his main from going down at least. I guess that's all you need. I guess that is all you need. Just prevent your opponent from stopping you from producing carriers. And I don't mean that that's all you need. If you're a Protoss player out there, that's all Bisu needs, man. Those are Bisu carriers there. That's a different level of carrier. That's a different caliber of carrier. Bisu just able to make it happen, man. If it's you, if you're playing in that situation, you use your interceptors. They all get shot down by Goliaths. The Terran pushes in and just kills you. I don't know how he does it, but he manages to just he just keeps that interceptor count so high. He only engages when he has to. He really doesn't allow many interceptors to get shot down in the process, and somehow he gets to that critical mass. He gets to that great number of interceptors, and I am missing this part of the game. We are almost about to get a drone kill here. Oh man, not able to get that last hit there. Queen preserving his drone line here, but still under threat right now with this Zealot tucking himself behind the behind this gas geyser. Doesn't get the best surface area there, but does get 4 Lings on top of it. Loses only 2 for the cost of 1 Zealot. Not too bad for Queen. Bisu not really getting what he wanted, but still getting a reasonable trade out of that. Now quite a few Lings have been produced, and Queen heading across the map with them. Let's see what Bisu has back at home in the natural. No more Lings popping out. Queen gonna focus on droning up here. This is still a bit of trouble here in the front. Shield battery being added on. A bit of an emergency shield battery here for Bisu. I like it though. Keeping the Forge back in the home makes a lot of sense. You can get that upgrade no matter what, 100%. And the shield battery is really going to help out here with these early Zealot versus Ling battles. So, innovation here from Bisu. I love it. You rarely, if ever, see a shield battery wall in at the front. It's not a necessary building. I guess, typically, it's not a necessary building. I mean, it doesn't have to be part of your build in order to get the next thing that you need, but it is a very useful building that hasn't seen a ton of light in the history of Broodwar. It has very seldom been used in competitive play, but it is starting to see the light a little bit here in some of these KCM and ASL games. The best players once again showing us the way, showing us how every single piece of this beautiful game can be used and can be essential and useful in this in these strategies. It's so cool, man. I really love it. I feel like the same way with the Valkyrie as well, right? Oh shit, we're gonna have some Lings run by. Nice block there with the probe. So clutch to block there. Very nicely done. As I was saying, it kind of reminds me of the Valkyrie, right? That Valkyrie unit was never really used in pro play or in just regular ladder play, but I think the main use of it was really in fastest possible map. People would use it because it was so expensive. That's really the only time that people felt like it was viable, but in recent years, it's become a key part of the Zerg versus Terran meta. It's become a very, very useful unit. But it really took, I think, years and years before it became commonly used. And we might see that with the shield battery as well, right? We might see in the future, someday in the future, the shield battery become an essential part of Zerg versus Protoss. Now a great surround here from Queen. Look at all of these Lings. Getting a great surround there, but not able to take that fight effectively. Queen has to back away. This is a great one, though. Really, really good surround on those 3 Zealots as they were trying to run through that gap there. The Sunken Colony does go down, but the Lings and Mutas that have popped out now going to just finish off these last few Zealots. There's 1 Zealot in the main dealing some damage. I think that Queen going to use his drones to deal with that. 3 kills here in the main. 4 kills and 4, I believe, drone kills. Nicely done. Bisu with the 1 split off Zealot makes some damage happen in the main base. Now, Queen, I love this defensive position here. Unfortunate that Zealots can slide by the top part of that that upper building, though. It looks not like a gap to me, you know what I mean? It really doesn't. The egg right up against the hatchery never really looks like a proper gap, and it's so weird when it is and when it isn't. But in that case, Zealot's able to slip by there and deal quite a bit of damage. I think Queen did a reasonably good job of handling that, and he is going to drone back up now. He also has this threat of Muta Scourge out on the map, so he may be able to prevent this base going down here. The photon cannons are going to get cancelled, yeah, and he is going to be able to stop this. Scourge are here. Corsairs, 6 Corsairs, but no +1. It's going to be hard to deal with that mass Scourge play, but Archon here now. That's probably going to prevent Queen from doing mass Scourge. Nice pick off on the probe. That probe coming up to try and throw down a few more cannons is picked off, so Queen going to have more opportunities to dive in and possibly get more damage here. Maybe he can get some Lings by these Zealots, try to deal some damage to that Nexus. Tons of Hydras popping out now, and this Hydra army is going to be hard to deal with what Bisu has at the moment. Oh, DT. Feels like Queen didn't really see it, though. His units moving through the middle of the map did aggro towards that DT for a moment, but he doesn't track it down. Instead, just focusing on moving across the map as quickly as possible. Going to engage this army. Only one Overlord here, so the moment that gets picked off, DTs could end up going to work on these units. So many Corsairs just going to force these Mutalisks away. All of them dealing almost no damage and falling extremely quickly. Hydras here going to focus down the Archon as they should, but already getting routed. Queen gonna have to turn around and head on home. Bisu holds off this army and has already transferred probes to his third base, not even needing those cannons that were denied at the third to keep that properly defended. These two zealots, they should be back with their brothers, though. End up getting picked off on the other side of the map, and Queen, he loses a couple more overlords. He may even lose more than that, because he's really intent right now on dealing some damage, maybe trying to pick off this Nexus. However, huge force of zealots, plus there's High Templar behind this with the Storm. Should be able to push this away, it looks like. And the Queen army, this massive Hydralisk army, is not looking too strong until those storms are dodged. Nicely done. Wow, Queen dodging perfectly against Bisu's storms. You don't see that every day. He does bring up some overlords, but the Corsairs just ripping them to pieces. Every single overlord dies here, and these mutas are going to be picked off very quickly as well. Now the tides have turned with the next round of zealots reaching this army. Queen gonna have to turn around and retreat once again. Still stuck here on 3 bases versus 3 bases. Time is starting to run out. He needs to either transition into a lurker play or win the game right now, right here, with just mass Hydralisk, and I'm not sure I can see that happening. He's lost so many overlords here. Just reproducing those has cost him an absolute fortune. And there's so few Hydras and so many Zealots. I think there's actually more Zealots than Hydras right now. That may in fact be the case. A lot of them have been damaged as well by the storms earlier. More Zealots moving forward with the +1/+1 as well. Just able to run rampant over this Hydralisk force. Since lurkers are not involved, there's not really much Queen can do but sort of kite back slowly and lose all of his overlords. Single DT in this army would be incredibly deadly. Queen still battling away with this tiny army and about 63 supply, 63 of 46. He needs about 2-3 more overlords at this moment in order to be able to produce anything. He's waiting. You can see 700 minerals banked up right now, but he's gonna lose even more overlords here in the background. Oh, it's so painful. 63 of 46 once again. Oh man, a bunch of overlords pop out, but there's still not enough to allow Queen to produce right now. Oh man, he has missed 2 full production cycles now and is in danger of actually just straight up dying. This is all the Hydralisks he has. And look at Bisu's army. I think this can beat what he's got right now, and he loses another overlord. Oh god, another one goes down. Oh man, you gotta feel for Queen right now, dude. He hasn't been able to produce anything for minutes. Finally gonna go up to 70 supply, but guys, think this is, he was just at 68 supply, so I think he's produced maybe 2 more Hydras, and a whole bunch more overlords are in these eggs. He's got to keep some of these alive. Otherwise, Bisu is just going to completely destroy him. Look at his army supply right now. I think he will anyway. Can see 100 supply advantage for Bisu. Zerg is capable of fighting at low supplies, but that's really only when you have good positioning with lurkers, Hydras, and Scourge to try and pick off observers. Those type of things, you can kind of start to eke out advantages in that way, but finally lurkers do pop. I still feel like this large of a supply differential, though, leaves very little in the way of comeback potential for Queen. He's going to bring his lurkers up forward now. Can he actually take an engagement without eating storms to the mouth? It looks like no. About 6 Hydras go down immediately to the first storm coming out of Bisu. Queen gonna get a 3-prong flank, but this can be a double-edged sword. Coming from 3 different directions, it makes it harder to storm on the units. It also makes it way harder to dodge storms as well, because you really can't see all of your units at the same time. You cannot move them all out of the way of storms, so a lot of times Hydralisk on the flank getting stormed, if your screen is not on them, they will just die in huge clumps. Looks like Queen hiding about 50 overlords in the top right-hand corner. Okay, not quite that many, but I see a huge red clump up there. I'm pretty sure that's all overlords. If Bisu finds that, I think this will just be straight up GG. This is the moment here, though. Queen gonna try and make it happen, running forward with his lurkers. A lot of them get stormed, and the rest just get run over by this overwhelming force. Queen kind of giving up here, just letting his Hydras run forward and be stormed to death. GG. Bisu takes another win. Beautiful, beautiful Corsair play from him. As expected, just kills so many overlords. Just so many overlords went down there. I feel so bad for Queen. I've been in this situation before where you just can't make anything. You can't make lurkers because they cost supply. You can't make Hydras, you can't make Lings. All you can do is just sit there and hold the Overlord button and waste all your minerals on Overlords. It's not a winning scenario, and it didn't end up working for Queen either. Bisu takes another win. What a player. What a game. Let's get into our next one. Okay, holy cow, I'm back. I had a quick pause at the end of that last game. If you notice, it was me realizing that I forgot to go pick up my girlfriend from work, and it was past the time. I was just so excited to get to these next games that totally forgot about my responsibilities. So I went and got her and had some dinner. Now I'm back ready to get to this next one. We've got Sharp spawning down in the bottom left-hand corner, Bisu in the bottom right. And Queen has been knocked out. Queen underperforming a little bit. I don't know if he's feeling out of it or what. He just never decided to take that 4th base, man. He completely committed to those attacks, and Bisu just totally punished him for it. Queen, another unit that has been around for a long time that just hasn't been used for most of Broodwar, but has found some Zerg players have found some uses for it in the modern era. Goes down with Valkyries and shield batteries as just things that were never used for a very, very long time, but they do have some value. We're finding that out. Anyway, I was listing things earlier. I totally forgot about the Queen. But I digress. We've got Sharp down here, just setting things up. And Bisu not going to go ahead and grab an early Nexus. This is Allegro, by the way. And on this 4-player map, it can be pretty tempting to take an early expansion. It's pretty difficult to scout your opponent right off the bat. And it looks like Sharp is going to snag his early command center here while scouting in the wrong direction. Bisu does a cross-map scout. He just wants to find out if his opponent is on the other side of the map, directly across from him. That's the first place he's going to scout to. And then seeing the SCV will scout in the correct direction afterwards. So going to send his Zealot in the correct direction here and try to deal a little damage. He should be able to do something here. I'm not sure if he'll be able to force a cancel on this, but he should be able to at least put some pressure on here and maybe force the SCV to back away for a little bit. That could be huge. This Zealot coming in here, oh man, he's gonna have to pull SCVs. Sharp is in a bit of trouble right now. Gonna start to lose his first SCV. Second Marine does come out. That second Marine was a little bit slower, so third Marine is in production here, but it's gonna take a little while. He's gonna have to fight here with just 2 Marines versus a Zealot, and a Probe is pretty tough. Oh, nice slipping through there. Does take quite a bit of damage on that Marine though, and this Probe is getting some nice moving shot. Ooh, he focuses down the Probe. Great hits there with that Zealot. And this last Marine is going to go... Oh, it doesn't quite go down. The Zealot going to run up into the main. The Dragoon thinking about running by, but decides to back off, seeing that those SCVs are ready to block. And the Zealot will just get up inside here and take a look around. So not as bad as I thought it could have been, but Sharp does get delayed a little bit here. He does lose a Marine again in the main base. 1 HP Zealot with 2 kills. Unreal. I bet Sharp is salty about that one, man. It takes so many hits for a Marine to kill a Zealot. I can't remember. This was a trivia question, but I can't actually recall how many hits it takes. But being 1 hit off of finishing that Zealot is incredibly frustrating. Lose that Marine. Looks like we're going to have a range build here from Bisu. Going to start to hit this bunker here pretty soon. Double factory to follow up. So everything progressing relatively normally until Bisu throws down this Templar Archives. He's going to be going for a DT attack. Do we have a Robo as well? Robo DT has been huge in ASL recently. No spoilers, of course, for the recent ASL, but DTs, oh my god. There have been days in the ASL, the most recent season, where DT has just been so trendy. And especially DT drops. So we'll see if Bisu is going to pull that out here. He's getting his Nexus right now. So I don't think he can afford all of that. No, it's just going to be a straight up DT to run to the front. Where is the eBay? No eBay here for Sharp, and time is running out, man. These DTs should be in production right now. Unless he throws down an eBay in the next few seconds, I think that Sharp is just going to die because he's not going to have vultures for a little bit longer. He's definitely not going to have mines in front of his base right now. And Sharp is busy messing around trying to push away these Dragoons with an unsieged tank. Dangerous games here, and no engineering bay still yet with a second gas running here. Sharp is playing a very dangerous game, and he's about to get severely punished here. As that siege mode finishes up, there's absolutely zero chance of a mine defense here. Just killing that tank. He's going to run into the main with one of these DTs. The second DT just going to chill here in the natural. This tank can end up getting taken down as well. There's another tank on the high ground. If that gets taken out, he will probably just break the front with his Dragoons there. Oh man, this is too painful. Just going right after that siege tank there on the high ground. 2 more DTs making their way over here. Sharp is 100% dead, and he taps out. GG. Oh man, not respecting the DT meta that's going on right now. Sharp, unfortunate, buddy. You gotta get an eBay even when you see your opponent going for a range build. That doesn't count out the possibility of a DT, and Sharp goes down for his oversight there, I guess we'll say. Not respecting the DT play. And Abisu takes a 3rd win. His 3rd win of the night. Nicely done. Let's jump into our 4th game. Alright, the moment I've all been waiting for. It is Jaedong in the top right-hand corner versus Bisu in the bottom left. A classic match. Boy, classic Broodwar special on this newer map. I don't know if this is a remade or remastered map, or if it's been around. It sounds familiar, Odyssey, but I feel like it's a new one. I haven't seen it before. Aside from in this KCM, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a new map. Excuse me if I'm wrong about that, but we've got 2 gases in each base. It's similar to the recent ladder map called Equalizer, where one of the gases is a full gas with that full, I believe, 3,000 gas, and then the other one is about 1,000 gas. Not sure if I'm 100% right on that, but one of the gases is definitely a lower yield gas, or a lower supply gas, I suppose. Yield doesn't really make sense. If you think, I guess, high yield, right, in StarCraft 2, high yield mineral patches were the ones that returned 10 minerals or something instead of the regular 5. But this doesn't return you any less gas. It's just it lasts not as long before being depleted. So, ooh, nice block there, but holy cow, that was so close. 2 HP on that probe. Bisu almost killing that off and getting his way, putting down that early hatchery. He's already gone for an early pool anyway, so this doesn't really matter. The pylon just going to be cancelled anyway. And the third base gets thrown down. Well, the natural gets thrown down in the third base location. Lings are going to come out here, and this zealot needs to head home, actually, because Lings are going to be arriving here at the natural very quickly, which is going to be a problem for Bisu. Okay, he's going to leave this zealot out here. That means a single zealot defense. Oh man, oh wait a second, this could be really bad. This zealot is leaving and he could just focus his pylon. The zealot, focus the pylon. Yeah, this is not good. Oh man, if this pylon goes down, Bisu is not going to be able to produce any more zealots, and it will in fact go down. Oh man, and the 6 Lings just jump directly on the zealot. Oh, the surround. Oh man, it could not have gone any worse. Bisu loses that second zealot immediately. The first zealot is running into the main, but that doesn't matter. Lings are going to come out and deal with that, no problem. He's pulled all the probes. He's going to let the zealot come out. Oh man, so many probes had to be pulled there, and this zealot, if it gets trapped, oh, almost gets trapped there as well. Okay, it does actually get surrounded, and it will die. Oh man, that is so painful. One more zealot? Where's that one more zealot? It's got to be coming out soon. Oh, the gateway's getting so low. 150 HP, only 3 Lings left. Okay, he does manage to keep that alive. That was a nail biter there. So close to actually losing his gateway and this game for sure. If he lost that gateway, game is over. There's no way that Bisu could recover, because he would have to fight with probes, and all Jaedong need do is just continuously produce Lings and send them across the map. He would be able to overwhelm eventually. Looks like now he's transitioning into building up his drone economy. Couple of zealots here with some probes gonna fight. Oh, Gateway is getting really low. 100 HP. Oh, he's going to get it. Gateway goes down. Good focusing there by Jaedong, and he hasn't lost too many Lings for that kill either. He's going to kill a bunch of probes on the ramp. Holy crap. GG. Jaedong takes him down. Oh. Oh. Wow. I'm surprised that Bisu didn't want to try and fight that out a little bit longer or try to get a cannon up, but losing the gateway that early in the game is incredibly painful. So many probes went down as well. I think Jaedong probably could have closed that out. I don't know. Well, guess we'll never know. Jaedong, Bisu thought that he was pretty much dead, so he concedes the victory to Jaedong, and he will proceed. A nice win there for Jaedong. Another Ling early game win for Jaedong, though. That's basically what we've seen out of him this season. in terms of his wins. I want to see a nice long game with Jaedong. Hopefully we'll get that in our next game. It will be Light versus Jaedong coming up next, guys. That should be an exciting one. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, here we go. Light in the top right-hand corner. Jaedong in the bottom left. It is Eclipse. I think Artos' least favorite map, is it? I remember watching a tier list recently. What was his least favorite? Fighting Spirit. That's right. He listed Fighting Spirit as like 10 slots below F tier. That was a good video. Gotta give him props. Pretty darn funny. I tend to agree. Fighting Spirit is pretty much garbage. I wish that it would never grace the map pool again in the future. It was especially bad, though, for Terran. And especially bad for Terran versus Protoss. And occasionally Terran versus Zerg. Some of the positionings for turrets were terrible. Taking third base against Protoss was one of the most annoying things I've ever done. Period, I guess. Especially in Broodwar. It is just so frustrating to try and do. Also, the lack of placing of turrets, or places to put turrets in the pathway between your natural and your... okay, I'm going to stop complaining about Fighting Spirit, because that's not what we're playing on right now. We're playing on Eclipse, or we're watching some players play on Eclipse. Anyway, it is also a difficult map for taking your third base. I understand the frustration, but it is a pretty decent two-player map. I'm not... I'm not totally in agreement with Artos on this one. I think this is a fun map. It's led to some very interesting play styles throughout KCM and ASL history. I think that really Hydralisk Defiler Plague style play in this matchup really found its stride and found widespread adoption and usage in and success on this map. It's really where that style sort of blossomed because of the difficulty of taking and holding third and fourth base. Most of them being on high ground. It's just so good to power up on three bases here and then go into Plague, Hydralisk, Defiler. It's crazy hard to fight against. You really have to be on your toes when playing against it as the Terran player. Oh, okay. And very early Hydra Den here. And I don't think this is not what I was talking about. This is not the Hydralisk Defiler play. This is some sort of wacky two-base lurker play, I believe. Look at the timing of the layer and the Hydralisk Den finishing up at the same time. I'm pretty sure that's what we're seeing here. We don't have a second gas just yet, which would be the real dead giveaway here. But speed just finishes up here. Whoa. You gotta stop. Wait. Oh, no. That was on a mineral command, a mine command there. Light getting vision inside the main base with his first scout, sends a second scout on a mineral command into his opponent's base and gets full information about what is coming here. And it looks like Jaedong just gonna abandon this idea here and just go directly into a third base, adding on a ton of drones. Only building 2 Hydras. Looks like he's going to come across the map here. Build a couple of Lurkers, and then that should be it. Try to kill the supply depots here at the front if he can. But I don't think that Light will even allow that to happen. He's going to move out here. A little bit of an early timing. Push forward and try to find these eggs. And, oh god, Jaedong. Oh god, he put the eggs in the corner. And Light notices it immediately. Yeah. Man, this is not good, dude. Jaedong gonna lose 3 lurker eggs. And he's gonna try to flank here. I think that the fire bats should move to the other side. The lurkers pop out. They are gonna burrow, but no scan. Okay, wait a second. All the lurkers survive. He's gonna run forward and kill one of them. That was a nice pick off. Maybe Jaedong should have left that lurker underground at least to get a couple spines off, but Light is gonna completely defend this. The timing with the Lings was pretty well perfectly timed there, so I guess good job by Jaedong dealing with the situation pretty much the best that he possibly could, and he hasn't droned up from here though. Queen's Nest on the way. We might actually see what I was talking about earlier. Despite this weird opening, this is not the usual way that we get to Lurker Defiler. Oh, nice scan, and kills both the Lurkers. Now he's going to be free to move about on the map. The contain is broken. This is not the typical way we get to Lurker Defiler as a Zerg player, but against Terran, but there is a possibility that we will end up in that type of game here. We could see a couple of sunken colonies added on, a couple of lurkers at each location, and it'll be very difficult for Light to break those spots, and then we could see tons of drones pop out and eventually get into that style. But for now, it looks like Jaedong producing quite a lot of Lings. He is getting into a Spire as well as a Hive, which is really spreading himself thin right now, although it is nice to have some Scourge out if your opponent decides to attempt to drop. Could be very strong against Hydra Lurker style or a Lurker defense. Now, these Lurkers kind of dancing with death here, almost running into a bunch of Medic Marine and being focused down, but he does a good job there backing away and playing between the Lings and the Lurkers there to keep Light back for now. Defiler Mound is on the way. Drones are popping out here, so I believe Jaedong should be retreating here shortly. Gonna play a bit of a defensive game, try to slide his way back towards his third base and natural. There is a tank timing here where maybe Jaedong or maybe Light can actually push across the map and try to break some lurkers. But Jaedong doing a really good job, just slowly moving backwards. Ooh, he does take a tank shot though. That's not good. Another good tank shot there and kills one of the lurkers, and this is not what you want to happen right now. He's going to lose both his lurkers and all of his Lings as well. That might be the real winning moment here for Light, because now Light is just completely free on the map. He's moving forward with his tanks. Ooh, this might be a hold position moment here. Hold position on these. Oh man, can he actually bait them over? Oh man, he just placed them in the wrong spot here. That's so unfortunate. Oh no. Oh, it hurts so badly. He can come in for a flank, but had he pulled off that hold position lurker move, he could have easily crushed this attack. Now he's just got a Defiler here with no Dark Swarm. He's got no Consume. Oh man, GG. Oh, that's so rough. Nothing to bait those Marines and medics over towards that location. He knew the direction the Marines and medics were coming from, but unfortunately, placing them in the wrong spot, that would have been so strong had he caught that Marine medic train walking across the map with the hold position lurkers. He probably could have held on long enough for the Defiler and the Dark Swarm, but just a little bit off there. I think he imagined Light was going to be going towards his third base, and not the natural, but Light chooses the third. He breaks through, and Jaedong is knocked out. And it was really close. I think maybe the biggest key moment of that game was actually the scout. That scout from Light, so clutch. You could see he sent his second SCV out on the map. He actually sent it towards the 4th base, and it went all the way over to the 4th base while his first scout was in the main, and then he sent it on a mineral command into the Zerg base. So that way, Jaedong couldn't see an SCV coming from his opponent's main. If he had seen it, you know, if Light had taken a regular SCV from his main and just sent it on a mine command, Jaedong would have seen that and he would have picked it off with his links. But because he preempted that, he had that planned out from the early stages of the game, he sends it way up into the top corner and then down. He didn't get the advanced warning, and Jaedong was not able to prevent the scout. That was such a clutch scout, and it really changed that game. I would have been interesting to see if Jaedong had gotten the surprise on Light. Could he have actually finished it with that lurker bust? But that wasn't the game we got to see. Light ends up taking him down, and Jaedong, better luck next time, man. Oh, boys, I accidentally crossed out Light's name and started the video before I realized what I did. Bit of wishful thinking there. Unfortunately, Jaedong goes down and Light will advance. He's going to be going up against Best here next. And Best going to spawn down in the bottom left quadrant. Light in the top 12-ish o'clock. It's going to be the blue Terran. I forget the name of this map. This is Neo Sylphid, right? Yeah, that's right. A pretty fun map. Can be a little bit imbalanced, I think, against Protoss' Terran. I feel like the openness of the back of the main base, there's just so many different locations that Arbiters can fly in to recall. In terms of Zerg versus Terran, I think this is a pretty well-balanced map. It's nice that there's a lot of space on this one for Marines to run behind the mineral patches and actually defend against Mutalisk. But it can be very painful if you put too many buildings in this location right here to the right of these mineral patches in Light space. Oh, wait a second. Gotta pause here. Why am I talking about Zerg versus Terran? This is Protoss versus Terran. I completely... I'm still locked in the last game, guys. I'm still thinking about Jaedong right now. I don't know why I was talking about that. I guess what I was saying before is actually more relevant. Protoss versus Terran on this map. Looks like the pause is done. Arbiters are super strong here, and especially in this position. Carriers, not so much, I think. The middle of the map is very wide open. There are quite a few high ground bases where cannons on high ground with some carriers can be really strong, but that's not the main base or that third main either, that main down in the bottom right. It's also not great if you want to just go gateway man, because there's not a great... I mean, there's only one other main to put some gateways in and have units filing out of that location. I think Dropship Man is probably pretty good. Or, excuse me, Shuttle play is pretty darn good. If you want to try and break the Terran player as they're taking their third base, that can be really, really strong. But I think Light here, if he's going up against Best with dropship play or with shuttle play, I think the direction that he's going to be pushing here is kind of advantageous, right? He's going to push towards his third, and then it's a straight shot from the third towards the left, towards the natural of Best, and he can also take his fourth base, I guess, in the top left-hand quadrant, you know, that base location. He can take his fourth base in that location, and that also kind of sets up a shield around his main base there, right? You've got your natural on the right-hand side, you've got your fourth base on the left, you've got your third base in the center at the bottom, and it creates kind of a ring of defense and defensive structures that can defend you against Arbiter attack and dropship coming in. Ooh, Best gonna go for some DT play here, and an SCV has made its way around. He's got a block here. He cannot allow this in. Yeah, not gonna allow that in. This is like exactly the same build as what Bisu did earlier against Sharp, and I wonder if it's gonna have the same effect here against Light. You can see 3 Dragoons up here at the natural, just banging away on this bunker. The 4th Dragoon gonna come up here and start to deal a little bit of damage. There is a spot here where the oh wait, SCV coming back in again? I think the DTs are already out though, right? Okay, here comes the SCV. I think it's too late though. Oh, nice block, nice block. Oh, probe. Can he actually get it? Can he actually get it? Oh, the moving shot. Oh no, he messed it up. Whoa. The SCV's not going in. What? Okay, but he's got a turret back at home. All right, Light not making the same error as Sharp, is going to have a turret in his front, and these DTs will do nothing. A lot of panic, a lot of excitement there at the SCV not coming in and scouting, but Light is already prepared. And so it's not really going to matter here. Of course, he would like to get some more detection up, if possible. Oh, he's diving on the turret! The turret! Oh, 2 shots the turret! And now the bunker going to go down here. The SCVs are getting ready to block, but the bunker falling means these Dragoons can run in. Oh man, this is like a ladder game right now. I can't believe he just went for the turret with his Dragoons. That's so annoying. Now the DT's just going to work. I thought that Light was going to completely block this. He does have one more turret back here. I feel like you just build another turret, actually, because if another turret gets dived upon here, I think it's going to be way too frustrating. Yeah, he could just focus his turret. Oh, you gotta repair the turret. Oh, he loses the turret. Okay, Mines did kill one of these. He's gonna kill this tank though with the next mine. He's gonna drag this mine into the SCVs. Another turret there in the main. But he's leaving his factories completely open. Cannot actually defend these factories with the turret. I feel like Light not respecting the dive potential there from Best 2 times in a row. Not expecting him to just go for it. And this is a real ladder Protoss move, man. Diving on your opponent's turret like that. I think Artosis would be absolutely disgusted right now at Best play, but I am loving it here. And we've got a 3rd Nexus coming up. Best just gonna go ahead and eke out additional advantages here while he is at it. His opponent sitting here on just 1 base has managed to produce 2 comsat stations at least, so he does have quite a few scans in order to try pushing things back, but a Reaver is coming up as the follow-up. Of course, there are quite a few turrets, but they're not in good position to deal with Reavers. There's plenty of open space in the main. He could pick up 2 DTs and a Reaver and fly into the main. How freaking annoying would that be? I think that's what we're going to see. Some Vulture's going to come out here, but Best manages to pick off a couple of them. And he should be able to block this here. Yeah, 2 Dragoons just going to go ahead and park themselves in that gateway. So, or not in the gateway, excuse me. Park themselves in that pylon wall. I guess it is a type of gateway, but not an actual gateway. Now we have the shuttle coming over here. Is he picking up a... Okay, he picked up a Dragon. I thought we were going to see a shuttle drop with 2 DTs, but that's not what we're going to have right now. We're just going to have some good old-fashioned Reaver drops here. The Dragoon does get picked off by a mine there. A little bit unfortunate, but it's okay. That Reaver's still at full HP. Let's start to do some damage. Oh, I don't think he actually had many Scarabs there because that was firing extremely slow. Now he's gonna queue up a few Scarabs. He's got 4 in the tank. Let's start to pick that off. Trying to go for the Academy. I don't know how high value a target that is right now because we've already got the comsats. And we're not going to be seeing any medics in this game, I don't think. Could be wrong, but Best is moving towards the natural here. He's got his 3rd base up this game. Will continue on. Light, no pushover. Is not just going to leave the game after taking a bunch of damage like that. He will stick in it, do his best to try and make this comeback happen. Going to lose some SCVs on the corner. The Reaver has got to be very low, though, now. It's lost all its shields, and it just took a tank shot, so one more tank shot may be enough to finish it off if Best doesn't wait for the shields to recover first. Now, these Vultures trying to break through the pylon wall, not going to be able to do so, as Best sends his reinforcements back here to defend a 4th base on the way here for Best. He's got a huge supply advantage at the moment. He is going to lose some probes, looks like, as Vultures make their way into the natural. A nice move by Light, but ultimately not going to make that big of a difference with Best already pumping workers off of 3 Nexus. He's going to have plenty of those, and he's done a ton of economic damage to Light, so I don't think enough damage has been done to really balance that out as of yet. Now, Light has his 3rd command center on the way. I think he's just going to keep it there for now in order to pump up his SCV numbers. Best thinking about going for a bust here. Just going to bulldog his way in here with triple shuttle, dropping all over these tanks. That is so many zealots, man. This game is over. Best... Great little move here after taking advantages here in this early game. I don't think there's anything that Light really could have done to prepare more perfectly for that type of attack. I think he was just so far behind there that, yeah, there wasn't really much he could do, man. He stuck in it, hoping that maybe Best would mess up, or maybe Best would allow him to get into a 3-base economy and a later push, because it would be a very late push if Light actually came out with a push. Could have somehow managed to take down Best, but Best just not willing to allow that possibility to occur. Builds up a bunch of shuttles and just ends the game. Nicely done. Light's been eliminated, and Best will move on. And that's the end of Terran, actually, by the way. Terran is dead. Wow. That was quick. Sorry, Terrans. Once again, going out first. Not sad. I guess it's going to be another Zerg versus Protoss final. Let's jump into our next one. All right, a clean finisher there from Best, taking out Light. Now we're going to go into what could be our potential last game of the night. We got Soma here on butter, down in the bottom right, and Best up in the top right. At third base is being taken. Soma. A fantastic aggressive Zerg. We'll see what he has here to bring out against Best. He's already been blocked at his natural. Whereas Best going to take a Nexus first. Wow. Nexus first here against Zerg. He's already seen there's no spawning pool, so it looks like it's going to be safe. Should follow this up with a Forge more than likely. Oh, and he blocks with the Pylon as well. That's super annoying. Going to force Soma to build a spawning pool here. The spawning pool has gone down in the main. Best just going to cancel that Pylon, knowing that he's already done that damage. Slowing down this hatchery, not allowing him to take 3 bases early. Yeah, should be a cancel here. Oh, he keeps it alive. Wow, that's very annoying. I guess that's going to be a bit of bait here for Soma's Lings. Soma will have to clear that pylon with his Lings first before going across the map. That's going to buy Best even more time for his cannon. He is even going to grab his assimilator before cannon as well. I think that Best's opener here is looking really, really strong. Soma going to have a hard time, man. Hard time catching up in this one. When Best has already taken these early advantages, when he's got such a nice clean opener. It's going to be a rough one, I think, for Soma. And we need Soma to win here, otherwise we're not going to get another game. Mini's still in the bleachers at the moment. I want to see him come out and play some games, man. Saw him in the ASL recently. No spoilers, of course, but a lot of fun games with him versus Zerg. And he showed some interesting stuff, so I want to see what he's got here for KCM. That's just not going to happen if Best outplays Soma here. I was actually pretty shocked to see him take down Light, though I probably shouldn't be. Best tends to play really, really well on these online tournaments, and of disproportionately well to how he plays in ASL in the really important tournaments. So looks like we're gonna have a Spire coming down, and there is a Stargate on the other side of the map. So Best does have the counter here. That's quite a few Lings, and we do have a block here in the front. Second Zealot pops out. Good timing. That probe is perfectly placed behind the Zealot. Only one, potentially one Ling could hit that probe in that location. The Zealot is just so nicely stuffed in there beside the egg as well. It's really impossible to get through this wall here. Best will easily be able to pull probes to reinforce this wall in, and so many Lings would go down. So Soma just hanging back here. He's gonna have to Spire in time to get some Scourge and push away this Corsair. I think maybe one Overlord will go down. That Overlord over by the third base of Best, that high ground base just south of his main, unless he doesn't spot it. Okay, he actually manages to keep that hidden here, and Best gonna go straight across the map. He's gonna find out that no Hydra bus is coming here from Soma. It's just gonna be a nice macro build here. Gonna be getting out his additional hatcheries, droning up heavily. And Best, he's gonna have to come out here and put some pressure on soon. Though he'll probably wait for the +1 and the speed. We already saw the Citadel coming up. He's going to get a cannon here as well, yeah, and just making sure that no Scourge can come and camp over this Stargate. He stopped producing. Very interesting. One single Corsair is all that's going to come out from Best for now. Okay, second one being produced. Never mind. Does start that production again. Usually you keep that rolling non-stop. Okay, 2 Corsairs are actually out, so he was just saving some money. not producing that Corsair for a little bit, making sure that the cannon was prepared so that he could keep that next Corsair safe. See the Scourge getting a nice scout off here. They see everything going on in the Protoss base. And the gateway explosion is starting. We've got some zealots walking across the map. That speed should be finishing up shortly here, +1 as well. It's quite a few gateways, but we're probably going to head up towards 8 gates in the main here for best. 7 gates in the main, 1 at the front. DT is out now. Some mutas are popping. And I don't think there's quite enough Corsairs for best to come out here and take a fight against Scourge at the moment. He's not even producing anymore, so he's just going to rely on cannons here. We don't have +1 being researched for air weapons. Looks like a DT gonna run in here. Oh my goodness. That DT run by getting over here into the main. Those links just not quite able to block. Looks like he will be able to get this around though. And he does pick that off. Nicely done, Soma. Deflecting the first DT attack. That was just kind of a Hail Mary DT there. Run right past and into the main base. It doesn't work out, but it could have gotten a lot of damage if it had slipped by without Soma noticing into the main, start to take out some drones. So I understand the idea there. Just doesn't quite work out. Not the biggest investment though. And on the back of this, the next 2 DTs that pop out, going to make an Archon. We should see Maelstrom being researched here as well. Although this might be a bit of an overreaction because there's just a ton of Scourge here. Not that many Mutalisks though. Oh wait, okay, that stack's a little bit heftier than I thought. 6 mutas inside this stack. There's not going to be Maelstrom ready for this attack though. 2 cannons here in the main. Going to start to take some damage. Oh! Oh! Man, that damage from the storm just annihilates those Mutalisks. Oh my god. That was a perfect storm there, I believe. Yeah, that Templar to the south. How many kills does he have? I'm not sure if he actually eliminated too many Mutalisks there, but he certainly did a massive chunk of damage, just forcing them out easily. It was a great move to Best pulls his probes so quickly during that engagement that he could actually throw down the storm on his own mineral patches there. You know, Soma was trying to position his mutas in such a way that storming would be impossible without killing your own probes, but Best just too quick. He pulls everything back. Dark Archon, can he actually get the Maelstrom? He's going for it. But now I think Soma is aware of the presence of the Dark Archon. He's going to come in here and take out a couple of these cannons. And there's only Dragoons running back to help defend this here. Of course, only 3 mutas not going to, or 4 mutas not going to do too much, but they can still kill quite a few probes if they're not contested. They're now going to try to run out. Maelstrom? No, there's only 2. 2 mutas not really worth it for that Maelstrom. Dragoon's doing a good job of cleaning that up anyway, and Best really switching into full Dragoon production here. He is going to hit a timing, it looks like, a 3-base timing with an insane number of Dragoons, a bunch of Templar in the pocket. We haven't seen a single Templar go down as of yet, so his Templar energy has just been building up like crazy. I think he's going to add a few more gateways on here before he goes, but he's just about ready to go, and the point of contention on the map here will either be that natural base or perhaps the new fresh 4th over in the bottom left-hand corner. Soma just taking that now. He's going to have to defend in multiple locations, though, with lurkers if he wants to have a chance of keeping this fresh base alive. Looks like Hive, double evolution chamber as well coming up here for Soma, but he's got to survive this first wave of Dragoons here. This first big attack will probably end up deciding who takes the advantage here in the mid-game. It could even end up just being the end of the game if Best manages to crack the defenses here. Soma setting everything up. He's got Lings all around the map as well. Just has to get that information. It's so important here as the Zerg player to know where your Protoss opponent is actually going. You have to get ahead of it. You have to move your units and be in position, ready and waiting for when the Protoss player attacks. It looks like he's sending his units now, but it's a little bit too late. Best has already run half his army past here on the left-hand side and will start to take out that hatchery, focusing it down with quite a few units. There's just not enough lurkers here, Lings or Hydras, to stop this army, and his fourth base is going to go down easily. Man, that was not good preparation there from Soma. Best just making it look easy here. He walks forward, kills the hatch, doesn't lose hardly anything, barely needs to use Storm either, and he will walk away unscathed here with his huge army. 40 supply advantage. God, Best looks so good right now. Just absolutely killing it here. His third base has a Templar as well. And Soma is just trying to find some way where he can establish a fourth and hold it. That fourth on the high ground on the right is potentially a much better fourth to hold. But Best just running by once again. He's going to get up here with some Zealots, and 5 Zealots can take down a hatch so incredibly fast. He does have to cancel. He's going to build another one on the other side of the map while simultaneously counterattacking here. But I think Best may just decide to crack the natural. He's coming here to the front, just probably cancel that fourth base. It's not the biggest deal if he doesn't have that. There we go, Defiler with the Dark Swarm, making things, the calculus here for Best trying to crack this natural a little bit more difficult. Don't think he'll be able to crack in there too easily. That fourth base over in the left coming up now from Soma, while this base by Best has been denied. +2/+1 is done. Best leading in upgrades here. Gonna grab his fourth once again, moving through the middle of the map. He's gonna try and hit that bottom left once again. This should be more difficult though. This should be a more difficult bust through if he actually wants to try and get through this area. He has so many Dragoons and there's already Dark Swarm, so this Dark Swarm defense will be very efficient for Soma. I think his best chance, probably just to crack the natural, just try to get in there, try to run up this ramp is near impossible. A Plague here as well. Plague is huge right now. With the number of Dragoons we've got, it could just take away all of their health, all of their HP. Of course, it will do nothing. Oh, and beautiful Plague. Oh, that's so dirty. The efficiency, the pure efficiency of that attack, of that spell there, excuse me, is insane. Looks like the DT going to get a couple of drone kills before he gets taken out. And all these Dragoons are in the red, or near all have been taken down to the red, but Best, he's got a fourth base. He can start to transition with the amount of income that he's experiencing right now. He can start to transition to just mass Templar, Archon, and Zealot, and just take fights directly underneath these Dark Swarms. But for now, he's still roaming with this Dragoon heavy army. This is really a base cracking army, right? This is a composition that does well against lots of sunken colonies. Ooh, great job with the feedback. Finishing off that Defiler, and that could actually be a game-breaking moment here. There's no Defiler in the area ready to defend this spot here. And with this number of Dragoons, no Defiler, no Dark Swarm means that this is a very tough defense. Coming forward here towards the Nidus network. Quite a few units popped through, but possibly not enough. Where is that Defiler? No, we don't see one, and he is going to actually crack in here. He breaks the base. GG. Soma taps out. Best looks insanely good as he cleans up Zerg in this week of KCM and takes the win for his squad. Very nicely done there, Best. Let's take a quick look at the point rankings for today. Terran looking worse than ever before in KCM, still with 0 points after week 4. Oh man, that is crazy imbalance. I don't know what's going on here. I feel like maybe the map pool really hurting for Terran this season. I don't know, man. I don't know what is going on here. Protoss and Zerg just taking control back and forth. You can see they've gone Zerg ahead a couple of times. Protoss always catching back up, and now it's 6-6 in week 4. It's going to be a tight race here between these two factions. We'll see how that goes in the next week, guys. Thank you so much for joining. I know ASL is on right now, so I really appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out KCM. I'm in the same boat as you guys. I'm splitting my time watching ASL, my free time watching ASL, and of course casting the KCM as well. I'm also getting prepped for my journey for my next trip, so that's going to be coming up soon, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day. We'll see you guys in the next one.